This is the sky as seen from Earth. The sky seems like a sphere because we're on a spherical Earth. There's the North Pole, the South Celestial Pole, and the celestial equator through the middle. Directly over the Earth's equator is the celestial equator. Now this curved path is the apparent path of the sun in the sky, called the ecliptic. It's actually the orbit of the Earth as seen by the movement of the sun. And it's curved because we're tilted in our axis by 23.5 degrees. And we're always tilted at that same angle, causing the seasons in our orbit. Winter, when we point away from the sun, we see the sun low in the sky, and high in the summertime, we point directly into the sun. Now, if you went in a rocket beyond the atmosphere that scatters the sunlight during the day, you can see all the stars. But when they talk about seasonal stars, they're talking about the first few hours of evening after the sun goes down. But if you want to see all the stars, you can stay put because the Earth rotates once on its axis every day. So in the evening, you can see the first half, and before the sun comes up in the morning, you can see the other half. Now tonight, if you go out, you'll see almost all the stars you can see from your point on Earth right away. First, the brighter stars come out at twilight, and as night deepens, more and more stars come to view.
Starting here in the western sky, Virgo is setting with the sun. In the north, the Big Dipper's handle arcs to Arcturus in the northwest. Almost overhead, the summer triangle stars Vega, Deneb, and Altair are seen. In the south, the flashing red star Antares, which Copernicus saw as the rival of Mars in the constellation Scorpius. As the sky darkens, more stars come into view. From Arcturus in Boötes the herdsman, this kite-shaped group, we move to Corona Borealis, the northern crown. In mythology, a floral crown with the bright star Gemma, or jewel. A line from Arcturus through Gemma points to Hercules, the kneeling giant, a bow-tie-shaped group of stars with this keystone shape here. Extend the line from Arcturus through Gemma twice the distance to Vega, one of the brighter stars in Lyra, the lyre or harp of Apollo. This is a little parallelogram. The other two figures in the summer triangle are Cygnus the swan flying down the Milky Way and Aquila the eagle. Deneb is Arabic for tail. Here is the swan's tail. Altair means soaring eagle. He carried Ganymede up to Mount Olympus. Two smaller constellations occupy this region. Delphinus the dolphin is this little diamond-shaped group, and halfway between the head of the swan and Altair is Sagitta the arrow, supposedly shot by Sagittarius the archer just below on the southern horizon. In mythology, Sagittarius is the centaur Chiron, a tutor and trainer of lesser gods. Next to Sagittarius is Scorpius and Libra, the ancient double constellation. Here is the tail of the scorpion, the heart Antares, flashing red, and the head with these two extensions as the claws, now called Libra, the scales. The two bright stars are still called the northern and southern claws of the scorpion. Above Scorpius is the large group called Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer. He is holding in his hands Serpens, the only constellation broken into two parts. The head here, an X just below the crown, and the tail here. Following the ecliptic in the southeast are Capricornus the goat and Aquarius the water-bearer, with the water jar on his shoulders pouring little water droplets that seem to fall onto the southern fish called Piscis austrinus, with the brighter star Fomolo as the fish's mouth. Rising up in the east is the great square of Pegasus, the flying horse. This huge baseball diamond on the eastern horizon will continue to rise as the night goes on, bringing to view a host of characters that will be out earlier in the evening for us to study next time.
Stars are moving very fast, but are so very far away that the whole history of man has not been long enough for us to see much change in the sky that the ancients named. We are seeing history itself. And by knowing the stars, we can say hello to our friends in the sky and not get lost. By learning the stories about these star groupings called constellations, we can appreciate the Greek, Arabic, and other cultures of old that led to our present society and knowledge. The early evening stars, sometimes called seasonal, are those right after the sun goes down for the first couple of hours of evening. But as one stays out, more stars rise and set, bringing more legendary figures to our view. The early evening groupings in the sky these evenings are steeped in Greek mythology.
As soon as the sun goes down and the brighter stars come to view with the summer triangle overhead and the arc of the Dipper to Arcturus, and above the southern horizon is the flashing red Antares and Scorpius the scorpion next to Sagittarius the archer. Here is how the ancients saw them. As a centaur named Chiron, a tutor and trainer of lesser gods, he is shooting an arrow across the sky to Taurus the bull just opposite, but the local aim seems to be at the heart of the scorpion. Scorpius is the water animal that bit and killed Orion. Here is how Elijah Burritt, America's first uranographer, placed the figures in 1832. We see the Milky Way separating the Archer and the Scorpion, with the southern crown under the bow and the feet of the serpent-bearer resting atop the Scorpion. Copernicus named Antares, which means the rival of Mars, because of its redness. This is the heart of the Scorpion, with all Naiat, the outworks of the heart. Graphius means crab in Greek, with Dashuba, the forehead. Shayula is Arabic for the cocked-up part of the tail shown as two close stars. The bright star Sargass is Euphratean for twin stars. Sagittarius can be seen as a large teapot with the handle, top, and spout. But Caus Borealis and Caus Australis are the northern and southern parts of the archer's bow, with media the middle and all nozzle the tip of the arrow. All Balda is naturally the back of the head, while the bright Nunki is named for the Sumerian holy city of Eridu. Rukbat and Arkab are the knee and the tendon of this half-man, half-horse. Terebellum is the centaur's hindquarters with this nice little kite-shaped grouping. This area of the sky is rich with bright patches in the Milky Way and marks the center of our galaxy. All the stars we see with our eye alone are part of our galaxy called the Milky Way. This low point in the sun's path will mark the time of the December solstice, where the sun will be at Christmas. But next time we will study the constellations in a real watery area of the sky.